"26-year-old single mom Emily Fennell had been adapting to life without her dominant right hand after a tragic rollover car accident almost 5 years ago.
I put my left hand down to brace myself, and I put my right hand up towards the ceiling to brace myself, and the centrifugal force of us flipping caused my hand to go out of the sunroof. It was smashed between the pavement and the sunroof.
The injury to Emily's hand was devastating. Her mother, Kim, had to make the final decision whether to allow doctors to amputate.
Started back here, so this was missing. The surgeon showed me the x-rays. I can read an x-ray. You know what a hand is supposed to look like, and it wasn't there.
My mom explained to me that they had to cut off my hand, that there wasn't anything that they could do. Honestly, my first thought was that this sucks. I mean, to be honest, what else can you think at that point? I remember thinking that it's going to be hard. How am I going to take care of my daughter? It was hard. She was still in diapers at the time.
Emily found prosthetic hands unsatisfactory and adapted on her own. But she found the little things, like helping her daughter tie her shoes or putting her own hair in a ponytail, the things she missed the most. When Emily heard that UCLA was launching a hand transplant program, the first on the West Coast, she called the same day.
I think it's an amazing opportunity. Who would have thought that, you know, you can get another hand after you've lost your hand? I definitely never thought that it was a possibility. I thought, this is it.
We actually screened over 50 patients to find our first candidate. And Emily we found to be the absolute ideal candidate in every regard. She was young, she was healthy, she had this depth of understanding not only about the procedure but about herself that was not seen in other candidates.
After going through an extensive screening process that included both medical, surgical and psychological evaluation, she met the criteria, and we went forward with her feeling very confident that she was very well informed and that she was an excellent candidate.
After just 16 days on the transplant list, Emily receives the call that a donor hand is available.
I burst into tears. I called my sister and I was crying, and she's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "They have a hand." She's like, "But I thought this is what you wanted." I'm like, "It is. I don't know why I'm crying." And so it was kind of a whirlwind from there.
And I have to say, I sobbed. And I started to cry, and then I pulled myself together. It was just this immediate emotional response like, oh, here it is.
I remember right before I went into the OR, my mom asked me, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I said, "Yes, I'm sure."
I evaluated the hand from the deceased donor. It was identical. The color match was perfect, the size match was perfect, the blood group match was perfect. And it's one of those things in most people's lives, and I think most people can relate to, is you just can't believe that moment that you've been preparing for has arrived.
It is life-changing surgery for Emily that begins a minute before midnight and will last for 14 hours. Working in 2 teams, 9 surgeons and an army of highly trained medical staff work to identify every structure on both the donor and Emily's hand as they prepare to join the two together. The hand transplant involves connecting 2 bones, 23 tendons, 2 arteries, 4 veins, and at least 3 nerves. The tendons must be perfectly balanced if the hand is to precisely open and close. Through microscopes, surgeons sew together life-giving arteries and veins, and the nerves that will give Emily's new hand feeling, the human touch. As the surgery ends, Emily is able to see her new hand, and ever so slightly, she can make her new fingers move.
Can you try moving it? Oh, yeah. You move your fingers. Try it again. You see? You move your finger.
Emily is moved to intensive care, where her mother and sister are waiting.
As a mother, one of the first questions you ask when your baby is born is, did they have all their fingers and toes? She lost that. And it's back.
What was really one of the most emotional moments for me was to see her mother. Her mother came and hugged me and whispered in my ear, "You have made my child whole again."
The hard part for the surgical team is over, but Emily's journey has just begun. This is a clinical trial. There is much to learn about immunotherapy drugs necessary to stave off rejection of the donor hand, but which can carry serious side effects. And Emily must work relentlessly to recapture function and feel.
I hope she'll meet her goal, being able to put her hair back in a ponytail and return to normal life.
She is adapting to taking all of her medications. She's adapting to an extremely rigorous outpatient therapy schedule. She's learning that it's going to be a lot of hard work, so she's doing extremely well.
You're singing.
Emily is an inspiration. She has a wonderful smile. She looks at her both hands, and I can see in her eyes that she has what she wants. And she is going forward with her life now with two hands. And I can see it in her face, and I can see it when she puts her arm around her little daughter. This is a young woman who has a new lease on life.
My goal is to function with it like a regular hand and not have to think about it. And from what I understand from Dr. Azari and the other candidates that he's seen, that's entirely possible.